Now we're going to open SketchUp. SketchUp is the white block with the blue cube with white lines going through it. Go ahead and click it, double click it to open. And it may not open an actual document when you do that, so make sure you look up here at the top of your screen and go to File and click New. When that happens, you'll get a window which has blue sky and a gray ground feature, and also has green and red axes and a blue axis. Next, you're going to want to make sure that you open up your toolbar. You do have a limited toolbar across the top, but to see the full tools that you have, you need to open up the large tool set. To do that, you're going to go to View, click on Tool Palettes, and click Large Tool Set. Generally, that will stay on your left-hand side. However, you can move it wherever you like on the document. Next, we're going to open up the Materials window. To do that, you're going to click Window, select Materials, and you'll probably get this default color wheel here, but the area we want to go to is the brick. We want to select from the drop-down box Colors in Model. You'll see here that these color swatches match up with the lady who is standing in the document. Now we want to bring in our own pattern swatch. To do that, we're going to go down here to the color drop-down box, select New Texture, and then navigate over to where our download went from Google Slides. And we're going to be looking for that JPEG. So go ahead and click that and click Open. You'll see that when SketchUp brings it in, it will automatically default to a height and width of 3 feet. We can always change this later, so go ahead and just click OK for now. Now you will see that your pattern swatch has been added to the colors in the model window. Next, we're going to want to bring in an object to apply the texture to. I'm going to navigate over here and I'm going to start to look for this object that we're going to use to put the pattern on. To do that, I'm going to click Window and I'm going to find the Components window. I want to turn it on and make sure that there's a checkbox next to it. When you open this for the first time, it won't have anything in there and it will say 3D Warehouse here, in which case you have to type in the kind of object you're looking for. It could be a bed, it could be curtains, it could be an armchair, it could be a couch, anything that is upholstered. I'm going to use one of these chairs here. There are several to pick from. I might just try an easy one and try this one here. I'm going to double click. This is called the Thonnet Bent Wood Chair. If I want to move this chair, I have to select the Move tool, which is the one with the 4 red arrows. Whenever you move an object in SketchUp, you always want to grab a corner so you know which direction you're pulling it in. And this becomes very important later. So right now I'm just going to kind of navigate here and I can see that there's some upholstery here. You'll also see that there is a blue box around it. This means that the object is grouped. It's made up of different elements and each element is usually grouped, then all of the elements are put together with a big grouping. So I'm going to click my Components window away here and reveal the Materials window. In order for me to apply my pattern swatch, I need to edit the group. And to do that, I'm going to take my selection tool and I'm going to double click. I know I'm in edit mode when I see these dotted lines around the chair and not the solid blue lines. Next, I'm going to click on the chair again, and you can see that this is another group, so I have to edit a little further. This upholstered seat is actually made of 2 pieces, and each piece is a group, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit that as well. Now when I click that, it selects just the chair. So now I'm actually onto the upholstered part. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select my swatch, and it turns into a paint bucket, and I'm going to apply that to my chair. Next, I'm going to close out of this, and it has applied it to both. Now, you can't really tell what the pattern looks like, although I kind of like how this looks, but I'd still like to show you how you can adjust this if you need to. To do that, you remember that we brought it in at 3 feet by 3 feet. I'm going to double click inside the fabric swatch, and I'm going to change the width here to see what it would look like. I'm going to change it to 1 foot by 1 foot, and to do a foot you use the comma key, and I'm going to change it to 1 foot by 1 foot and see what it looks like. And so it's a little bit more interesting. I could even try the original size that we did, which was 6 inches by 6 inches, and here you have it. So I could select any size pattern I want. I think this is pretty good. So now I'm ready to close the material window, and now I've got to get out of all the groups that my chair is made of. And to do that, I'm just going to click outside the dotted lines and continue to click. And there we go. Here is our chair. The next thing I want to do is I want to export this chair with a transparent background. First, I want to kind of get a nice view of the chair. You'll see here that there's a red and green axes. I will not want those in here, so I may want to change it. But for right now, I'm going to leave them in. If you can, or you feel it's necessary, just click on the chair, click the move tool, click the corner, move the chair away so that those axes are not in the view. I think this looks good. Now, I'm going to go up to File, Export, and I'm going to select 2D Graphic. This time, we are not exporting it as a JPEG. We're going to export it as a PNG file, Portable Network Graphics file, not a JPEG. So you're going to click that download box and select PNG. We're also going to give it a title. I'm going to call this Thanay Chair with modern dots. I'm going to select the file that I want to save it to. So you could select your file with your name on it. Next, and this is very important, you need to go to Options. When you go to Options, you can say use this view size. It will give you the entire view here. Also, make sure that anti-alias has a check in it and is blue, and transparent background is checked as well. Next, you're going to click OK, and then you're going to click Export. And that will download a picture of this view of your design on an upholstered product without a background. And we'll be using that in the next assignment.